Alfred Adler's Fictional Finalism, How Imagined Goals Secretly Guide Your Entire Life. When we think about why we behave the way we do, most people assume the answer lies in the past. We often hear that childhood experiences, trauma, or unconscious memories determine who we become. While these factors are important, Alfred Adler offered a different and refreshing perspective. He argued that human beings are not only pushed by their past, but also pulled by their future. This powerful idea is known as fictional finalism. Alfred Adler, the founder of individual psychology, believed that human beings are goal-oriented creatures. According to him, we do not simply react to events like machines. Instead, we are constantly moving towards something. That something is usually an imagined ideal, a personal vision of how life should be. Adler called these imagined ideals fictions. They are not lies in a negative sense. They are creative mental constructions. Even if they are not completely realistic, they guide our thoughts, emotions, and behavior in very real ways. The term fictional refers to something imagined or created by the mind. The term finalism refers to the idea that human behavior is directed toward final goals. So fictional finalism means that our actions are shaped by imagined future goals. These goals may not be scientifically true or even fully conscious, but they act as guiding stars in our lives. To understand this better, imagine a child who feels small, weak, or ignored in the family. That child may silently form a belief such as, "One day I will become strong and important." This belief may never be spoken out loud. The child might not even realize it clearly. However, this imagined future becomes a driving force. It may lead the child to work harder than others, compete constantly, or seek positions of authority later in life. The imagined goal of becoming strong shapes real behavior. Adler believed that every person develops a unique pattern of living, which he called a lifestyle. This lifestyle includes our habits, attitudes, fears, and ambitions. At the center of this lifestyle is a fictional final goal. It answers an important hidden question: what must I become in order to feel valuable, secure, and complete? Each person's answer is different, and that is why people react differently to similar situations. For example, someone might hold the private belief, "I must be perfect in order to be loved." This is not an objective truth. It is an imagined rule. But it becomes extremely powerful. This person may study excessively, avoid risks, and fear making mistakes. Success may bring temporary relief, but failure may feel devastating. The fictional goal of perfection controls emotional reactions and daily choices. Adler connected fictional finalism to feelings of inferiority. He believed that all human beings experience some sense of inadequacy, especially during childhood. As children, we are small, dependent, and less capable than adults. These early feelings create a natural desire to grow, improve, and overcome limitations. To compensate for this sense of inferiority, we imagine a future state of superiority, success, or mastery. This imagined future pulls us forward. In healthy individuals, this striving leads to growth, cooperation, and contribution to society. For example, a person who once felt academically weak might develop the goal of becoming knowledgeable and helping others learn. In this case, the fictional goal encourages positive development. However, in unhealthy situations, the imagined goal may become extreme. A person might believe, "I must dominate everyone to prove my worth." Such a goal can lead to aggression, selfishness, and isolation. One of the most important aspects of Adler's theory is that it shifts attention from causes in the past to purposes in the future. Instead of only asking, "What happened to you?" Adlerian psychology asks, "What are you aiming for?" This question is powerful. It recognizes human beings as creative and purposeful, not just victims of circumstance. Consider two students who both fail an examination. One student might think, "This proves I am useless. I will never succeed." Another might think, "This is a challenge. I will work harder next time." The external event is the same. The difference lies in their fictional goals. The first student may have a rigid goal of always being perfect. The second may have a goal of continuous improvement. Their imagined futures shape their present reactions. Many fictional goals are formed early in life. A child raised in a highly competitive environment might develop the belief, "My value depends on being better than others." Another child raised in a family full of conflict might develop the belief, "I must always keep everyone happy." These beliefs become internal guiding stories. They influence career choices, relationships, and even self-esteem. Adler did not say that fictional goals are bad. In fact, he believed they are necessary. Human beings need direction. We need ideals to move toward. Even society operates on shared fictions, such as justice, equality, and progress. These ideas may not be perfectly realized, but they inspire collective action. The problem arises when a fictional goal becomes unrealistic, rigid, or harmful. For instance, someone who believes, "I must never show weakness," may struggle to express emotions or ask for help. This imagined ideal may create loneliness and emotional stress. The person may appear strong on the outside but feel isolated inside. In this case, the fictional goal limits personal growth instead of encouraging it. Adler emphasized the importance of social interest, which means caring about others and contributing to the common good. He believed that the healthiest fictional goals are those connected to cooperation and community. A person who aims to develop personal talents in order to serve society is psychologically healthier than someone who seeks superiority only for personal glory. Fictional finalism also gives us hope. If our behavior is guided by imagined goals, then we can examine and change those goals. We are not permanently trapped by childhood experiences. We can become aware of our private stories and revise them. For example, someone who has lived by the rule, "I must be perfect," can gradually adopt a healthier belief, such as, "I can grow through mistakes." This shift can reduce anxiety and increase resilience. In simple terms, Adler's theory teaches that we live according to meanings we create. We move toward what we imagine. Our future vision, even if imperfect, organizes our present behavior. Just as a traveler follows a map, we follow our internal life goals. The map may not perfectly represent reality, but without it, we would feel directionless. Alfred Adler's fictional finalism reminds us that we are active creators of our life paths. We are not merely shaped by what has happened to us. We are shaped by what we believe we are becoming. By understanding our imagined goals, we gain the power to reshape them in healthier and more socially meaningful ways. If you found this explanation clear and valuable, please like this video, share it with others who are interested in psychology, and subscribe to the channel for more deep yet simple discussions on great thinkers and powerful ideas.